Have you ever felt a little bit shy?
Hmm.
Maybe when you wanted to make new friends, or, perhaps when you wanted to talk to someone you really liked?
Yeah, that feeling is pretty common, I think.
Totally. Well, today we're going to listen in on a talk between a young man named Alex and his grandpa.
Okay.
And they're talking about exactly these kinds of feelings.
Yes, that's right. In our conversation today, Alex is asking his grandpa for some advice.
Right.
Alex is in college, you see, and he's finding it kind of difficult to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
And he also likes this girl named Riley, and he wants to talk to her, but, well, he feels shy.
Okay, so our goal today is really to understand some of the challenges of shyness.
Yeah, and maybe get some ideas.
Exactly. We'll also explore the different ideas Alice's grandpa shares about, how to connect with people when you are feeling shy.
Sounds good. Where should we start? With Alex.
Let's start with Alex. What are some of the first things he says to his grandpa?
Well, right at the beginning of their chat, Alex says something like, he forgot the book.
Ah, okay.
He uses this as, like, a reason for coming home from college.
A bit of an excuse, maybe.
Yeah, I think his grandpa kind of senses that something else might be happening.
Right.
Then Alex does tell his grandpa that he's been having some problems at college. He says he feels not very sociable.
Not very sociable. Okay. It sounds like Alex knows, deep down, that he wants to connect with other people, but, well, something's making it hard for him.
Mm-hmm.
He even says he'd like to have more friends. What does he say is the reason he's finding this difficult?
He explains that it's his shyness.
Simple as that.
Yeah. He feels shy, and this feeling just stops him from talking to people and, making friends.
And that's such a common feeling, isn't it? Especially in new situations like starting college.
Definitely. It's quite brave of Alex to actually talk to his grandpa about this, though.
It is. So what does his grandpa say back?
Well, the grandpa's really supportive. He tells Alex, your dad used to tell me all his problems. I used to help him.
Oh, that's nice. Setting the stage.
Yeah, so right away, he shows he's there to listen and help. And then he shares something really important from his own life.
Oh, what's that?
He says, I used to be very shy at college. I didn't have friends.
Wow. Okay, so he gets it.
Exactly. What a helpful way for the grandpa to connect with Alex, right?
Yeah, by sharing his own past experience, the grandpa shows Alex that, one, he understands how he feels, and two, maybe it's possible to, become less shy.
Mm-hmm. So how did the grandpa start to make friends back then?
Well, he says, I was a good student when I was in school. I used to study very hard.
Okay, so he was focused on academics.
Right. And then he says that he used to offer them to study with me.
Ah, so his first way of connecting with people was through something he was good at studying.
So it seems like it.
He kind of created a chance for them to spend time together because they had a shared need, help with homework.
Right. Social scientists often talk about that, don't they? The importance of shared activities and just building familiarity.
Yeah, getting comfortable. It seems like the grandpa kind of figured that out instinctively.
Exactly. And the grandpa's quite honest about it, too. He even says his friends were with him because you did help them with their homework, maybe not because they liked him a lot right at the very beginning.
Wow, that's really honest.
It is.
It shows that sometimes those first connections might be based on something, well, practical or just a shared task.
Yeah. But what happened after that? Did those first times studying together, did they lead to real friendships?
Yes, they did. The grandpa explains that it was just at the beginning.
Okay.
He says that as time went by, because he treated other people well, was just a decent person, their relationships got better.
Ah, so it grew from there.
Yeah. He points out that sometimes people need a chance to get to know you.
That feels like a key idea, doesn't it? Creating an opportunity for interaction.
Mm-hmm. Even if it starts with something like studying, it can open the door for, deeper connections later.
Yeah, it takes some of the pressure off, maybe. Feeling like you need to be instantly liked or super charming.
Right. Just let people see who you are over time. So what does the grandpa say when Alex kind of doubts himself? Because Alex does. Right.
Yeah, Alex mentions he doesn't think he's as intelligent as his grandpa was back in college.
Oh.
But the grandpa encourages him. He says, there is no need to be intelligent to make friends.
That's good advice.
It is. He says what's really important is having that opportunity to build friendships. Just a chance for people to connect with you.
That's such an important message. Making friends isn't just about having certain qualities like being smart or funny or whatever.
Right. It's also about making those moments, those little interactions happen.
Yeah. Now, Alex also has a specific person he wants to connect with, doesn't he?
Yes. He sort of changes the subject a little bit and says, I like someone. I want to talk to her.
Oh, Riley.
Riley. He really wants to meet her and talk to her, but he feels like he just can't.
And that's often more nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're interested in someone romantically.
Oh, for sure. You're hoping for a much more personal connection.
Yeah, the stakes feel higher. So what advice does the grandpa give him? Does he draw on his own life again?
He does. The grandpa shares this pretty funny story about when he tried to get Alex's grandmother's attention back in college.
Oh, yeah. What did he do?
He says he pretended I had dropped all my books, hoping she'd help him pick them up or something.
Huh? The old drop the books trick. Did it work?
Nope. He says the trick didn't work at all. She just left the place.
Oh, no. That's both funny and kind of painful.
Totally relatable, though. Sometimes the things we plan just don't work out the way we hope.
So true. So what did the grandpa do next to connect with Alex's grandmother, Riley? He didn't give up, did he?
No, he didn't. He noticed that Riley often used to go to the library.
Okay, observation. Good start.
Yeah, and even though he didn't used to go there, he wasn't a library person, apparently he started going.
Just to create a chance to see her.
Exactly, making an opportunity again. Then he decided to ask her to study with her.
And she said yes.
She did. He even says, we used to study together every day.
Every day. Wow.
Yeah, so again, we see that same idea, don't we? Creating opportunities, using a shared activity studying as a way to build that connection.
And the repetition seems important too. Spending time together regularly.
Definitely seems to have worked for him. Now, Alex then asks specifically for advice on how to, impress Riley.
Right. Not just meet her, but impress her. What does Grandpa suggest?
The grandpa suggests Alex should research her interests and take action accordingly.
Okay, do your homework, basically. Find out what she likes.
Right. And he connects this to something Alex is good at, his guitar playing.
All right.
He says that because Riley likes music, Alex can use his talent to, maybe impress her or at least connect with her over that.
That's really good advice, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It builds on that idea of finding things you both enjoy and using your own strengths, your own genuine interests as a way to connect.
Yeah, it feels more authentic than just dropping books, maybe.
Probably. It's also interesting that the grandpa brings up Alex's dad at this point.
Yes, he does. He says that Alex's dad used to play guitar at his college.
No way. Like father, like son?
Exactly. And he says that's actually how his dad made friends later in college after having some difficulties at the start. Apparently his dad was a bit unpleasant initially.
Oh, interesting. So music helped him turn things around.
It seems like using his music helped Alex's dad connect with other people too.
So the grandpa is really emphasizing this idea, isn't he? Using your skills, your interests, whatever they are, as a way to connect with people. It could be helping with studying like he did.
Or just being in the same places.
Right, like the library.
Yeah.
Or sharing a talent like playing the guitar.
Exactly. The grandpa's advice, based on what happened to him and even to his son, Alex's dad, it keeps coming back to this core idea. You might need to take that first step.
You might need to create that chance for connection to happen.
Yeah, don't just wait for it.
So let's maybe quickly go over the main points from our discussion today.
Good idea. So first off, making friends and connecting with people, especially when you feel shy or maybe when you really like someone, it can feel difficult.
Yeah, it really can. But the grandpa's stories show us that making opportunities, creating chances to interact with others, that's a really important first step.
Definitely. This could be by finding things you both like, common interests, like music.
Or just by being in the same places, like the grandpa going to the library. Just showing up.
Right. And it's also really important to remember what the grandpa said about, sometimes you need to take that first step yourself.
Yeah. You might need to be the one to offer to study together or find a way to share your interests.
Basically, giving people a chance to get to know you.
It might not happen otherwise.
So maybe something for you, our listener, to think about. Think about a time when you successfully connected with someone new. Maybe made a new friend or started talking to someone you liked. What was the opportunity that made it happen? Was there a specific moment or a shared activity or maybe a place?
And once you've thought about that, could you maybe think about using that same idea or that same kind of approach in a situation now where you'd like to build a new connection with someone?
Yeah. What little opportunity could you create? Something to ponder.